my fellow comic book collectors. This is another episode of The Price Variance, and we're going to be talking about some really cool stories that were broke recently on Go Collect. Is it Go Collect that we're doing?
Go Collect does have this up on its site as an issue.
Yeah. And I think these stories are quite interesting, and I think both Mark and I can give you a different perspective maybe than what Go Collect is going to say about them. So, Mark, can you share us the very first story that we're going to be talking about?
Find
he's doing a he's going to share his screen.
Yeah, that's not the right one though. Batgirl cancelled. There we go. So the topic we want to talk about is this. Batgirl film cancelled. What this means to investors and collectors. Over to you, Alan.
So for me, I actually believe this is probably the best move like done by any studio like recently. Canceling this show is a brilliant idea. I think people, like the general public, are getting annoyed by these kind of woke movies, and like movies that usually push an agenda. And if you look at all the people that are associated to the Batgirl movie, they're all, the kind of people that push an agenda. They're either a diversity hire or somebody with a definite agenda that they want to push. And it's like a whole bunch of people like that, all putting together a movie. So not a good sign. But it is a good sign when they cancel it, because what that shows is that they actually respect the audience. And you see movies like Top Gun and all these kind of big movies do really, really well. And it's because they're rejecting woke culture. And I think, just signaling that to the audience, that it means that the next movie that comes out from Warner Brothers or from DC will be a blockbuster, because we like audiences will be excited to go to see a movie that doesn't push an agenda.
Well, it's going to be Black Adam, isn't it?
Well, okay. I mean, so those were kind of pre-cancellation. So I don't really count those ones.
Oh, okay.
But I think Black Adam will be big. Yeah. But I think, and actually I think it will be even bigger because of this cancellation. Because what's the guy's name? The new CEO guy.
Oh, I can't remember his name.
Yeah, it might say in the article, but he actually screened the Batgirl movie and rejected it. Basically said it just isn't any good, and he killed it. But he did. He also watched the Black Adam movie and said it was good.
Okay, so that's good.
So yeah, so that bodes well for Black Adam.
Yeah, it does.
So what are your thoughts?
I think you're probably right, Alan. It was one of those I was very dubious about. I think it was originally going to be a TV series, wasn't it?
Yeah, they were thinking TV series or movie, and
then I think it was originally TV series. Then they said it was going to be a film, and they said they were going to rush it out so they could get it out in 2022. Mm-hmm. And now they've cancelled. They've filmed it all. It's in the can. They've spent all the money filming it, and they've killed it post-production, which is interesting. So I think you're probably right. I think the new guys come along and said, this is not going to work. We're better off taking this and using it as a tax, to recover tax
write-off. Yeah,
tax write-off. So they're not even selling it to anybody else. They're not putting it up straight to TV. You're never going to see this. It's never going to see the light of day. It's being used as a tax loss. So interesting.
What people don't understand, though, is like people always think, they think, well, that's $90 million down the drain. But what people don't realize is the post-production probably was going to be another 30 million. So they actually, by cutting their losses here, even though it's all filmed, they actually are saving 30 million there. But yeah. And usually the marketing for these big movies is anywhere from 30 to 60 million.
Yeah.
So actually, they're cutting their losses in half, basically, by doing this. So it's not as much of a financial loss as people might think. It might be actually them saying, okay, this might this might be a big loss if we keep on going this way. So it's
What does it mean to investors and collectors? Well, I own this comic. I don't really care. um, I think this is a great comic anyway. I don't think this will be affected by the cancel. It might drop a bit in the short term, but it's not going to affect the overall value of this comic over the medium to long term. In fact, the cancellation of the movie is better than a bad movie,
yeah.
in my view. So I don't think it means that much. I think there are some other things. It mentions here, there was some rumors about this pair of twins here, Super
The
Friends.
Wonder Twins. They're
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
They're
I
crappy
cannot
characters.
see that. I cannot see them getting a movie if Batgirl can't get a movie.
Yeah, they're very hokey characters, but yeah, they're fun.
um, so you know, yeah, FOMO and NOMO. It says the Batgirl cancellation must now cause collectors and investors to pause. FOMO caused people to jump into books, but do not follow one rash decision with another. Books like Detective Comics 359 will always be prized among collectors and investors. Batgirl books with noted artists will also hold their own, even with the film's demise. Yeah. So I agree with that. I don't think it has a huge effect, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it won't make the like DC books are generally undervalued anyways. So the
Exactly.
books were probably affordable. They probably spiked a little bit with the idea that there was a movie coming out about it. But I think those books were undervalued anyways, and it's more just people. It's more of a price correction in the positive for them. That I think that, and I don't see it coming back down. I think these books will be hot forever because it's a big character. It's like a character that's well respected. It's a Silver Age character. It's a
Yeah,
good long term.
it's and I think this sort of huge sort of FOMO about characters appearing in films and on TV, I think it's going away.
Yeah.
The Eternals. The Eternals comics went from nowhere and started becoming valuable. The film went and passed, and the comics just went back. They're almost back where they were before the film. And investors are not stupid. They see this and they go, have these characters got intrinsic long-term value? Batgirl does. Batgirl has intrinsic value without the film. How much value did the Eternals have prior to the film? It was a sort of D-list comic, wasn't it? So
Yeah.
it's still a D-list comic. you know, um, I think it's about the intrinsic value of the characters rather than the hype around the film. The film will give you a boost, and flippers can go on that, but it'll eventually settle back. Probably, if it was a good film, it'll settle back a bit higher than it previously was because it's improved the overall intrinsic value of that character. If it's a bad film, it can go a bit lower because it's actually decreased the intrinsic value of the character.
And that's what we saw with Eternals. The Eternals didn't do well, and the books really took a hard hit. Yeah, so I think they didn't want it's not like the guy who was involved with the decision making was worried about collectors, but he was worried about the effect that it would have on the reputation of these characters. I think he was looking at the long game. Like this is about maintaining our reputation of having these kind of IP like characters. They're characters that people associate with DC, and he wants them to be respected and maintained as characters, something that a legacy for the company. So I think that's a, I think his attitude towards it's quite good.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. So any other things you want to say about this one?
No, I didn't spend all night crying.
I I thought you would actually, so I'm somewhat surprised there. Okay.
No, I was like, meh,
Yeah.
if they cancelled Black Adam, yeah, I'd have probably had
Yeah, I would be sad about that.
a little
Um,
cry into my beer.
I actually was quite happy about this announcement, tell you the
Yeah,
truth.
no, I could tell we were really pleased. You thought this was going to be a woke fest.
Yeah, and I think it's a good sign when they rebel against that. So that's always good for me. Okay, so that's it for this part. We're going to look at another big topical story on Mark's channel. So there's going to be like another segment of this show, and you got to go over to Mark's channel to watch it. So we're hinting at what it's going to be about.
We are.
Check out on Mark's channel what we say about it. Okay, bye for now.
Bye, Alan.